I don't know when the right time to mention it is, but I just wanted to take a second and recognize Tim DeFranco. He was a really important, motivated, hardworking member of the disc golf community who passed away last week. Tim was instrumental in getting the Spa disc golf course in the ground. He was huge with everything that ever happened there. He helped out with a charity fundraiser event, the Winter Welcome that was there every single year that benefited the Franklin Community Center in Saratoga. He's ran dubs there since I want to say 2015 or 16. He was a huge presence in the area. Just that whole community has always been a really welcoming group of guys. And that's a lot due to Tim and his friend group and all just the really great people that are in that area. And it's just a huge loss to the community. And I know there's a lot of people that already missed him and are just going to, continue keeping what he worked on and was doing in the area moving forward and being the really vibrant, fun community that it is. So I just wanted to mention that. I don't know if everybody's heard, but he will be very missed and we miss him a lot.
They had an event this weekend, right? Was it Sunday?
Yeah. We had a celebration of life thing at Saratoga.
Did you go?
Oh, yeah. When I first started playing in September of 2014, the first monthly that I made it out to was the Pirate 9 for Saratoga. So Pirate rounds aren't nearly as popular as they used to be, but back when there weren't courses everywhere, everybody would get their practice baskets together and set them up and play a random course in a public park that didn't have a course. It was a good way to play test the area, see what needed to be done for a course and that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what was going on for that one. So that's when I met him. I played with him before it was there. And a couple other guys, George Brown and Tom Aldridge, who I now work with.
Did you guys play around on Sunday?
Yeah, we all played little random draw doubles thing. It was back to the Jeff Wojciechowski J-Dubs days of standing around waiting for your poker chip. There was a very team challenge-esque potluck thing that everybody kind of set up around noon. Everybody just hung out for about an hour and a half. And then the majority of people played quick dubs round. And then a bunch of people just kind of hung out at the pavilion. And then after that, we all just kind of sat around and talked and played a few different games and stuff.
How many people were out there?
There must have been 50. Every card for doubles, which is the only kind of count that I saw of anything, was full. And I think the first 5 cards had 6 sums on it. And that was not everybody that was playing. There was probably a good 2 dozen people hanging out not playing. So there was a lot of people came out to kind of see him off.
This is a very busy time with tournaments and such. So to get that many people out there, do you have a favorite Tim story?
Yeah, I guess I can't remember if Tim was on the card for one ace, but my second ace ever was at Saratoga. And it was the first year that Spa Dubs was ever going on. And so at the time, we're used to Spa Dubs drawing between 30 and 40 people and Tim having to add extra holes across the road now. This particular one, I think it was me and Ryan Clare that showed up and Tim was there and we did just kind of voted to just play singles. And on hole 8, I threw in my hard harp, kicked off a tree and I aced hole 8 from the shorter tee. And I just remember being very disappointed that I wasn't in on the ace pot because we weren't actually playing doubles that week. But that was probably the most fun round. It was just one of those rounds where it's getting dark and we're just kind of trying to race time because Spa is one of those places that closes the gates at dusk. But a lot of rounds like that.
I don't know Tim.
I know him. I wasn't very close with him, but I've played a lot of things with him before.
I only know him through Team Challenge, really. I never really played Saratoga Dubs.
Is that the SPAC place?
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Saratoga Performing Arts Center. It's the amphitheater in the middle of it.
Okay.
It's also not the name of the place. It's everybody calls it SPAC, but it's Spa State Park. Saratoga Spa State Park, I think.
Because I was thinking it was like Spack and Kill.
Oh.
Corey, do you have a story with Tim?
Unfortunately, no. Although, Saratoga for Team Challenge, when we play there, is kind of weird. I wouldn't expect it, but there's a fire pit area, where you all hang out. So kind of just shooting the shit with him as acquaintances, not even really friends, not really knowing each other much, but just kind of shooting the shit, having a beer, on lunch or whatever. Seemed like a cool dude. Obviously it sucks anytime anyone kind of goes early. Hope all of his friends and his family and everything, get through it.
Randy, any stories?
No specific stories, but just a big thanks to him. When me and Kat were new to the area, we were bringing Dylan around in a stroller and showed up to SPAC Dubs and just asked to be on the same card. And I think for the whole rest of the summer, I don't even think we had to ask. He just knew to hand us 2 cards because it was, paper playing cards for drawing. So he would always just give us, like 1 and 2 or something like that. So we were on the same card together and, could both take care of Dylan. So, he was just a thoughtful guy.
It's not something you want to talk about, but I think it's important to talk about. So I'm glad. Thank you, James.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. According to Will Byrne, the best disc golf podcast. I don't know his credentials as a reviewer, but we'll take it. Also, we're number 9 in Apple Podcasts Slovakia golf for 2 weeks running, according to Chartable Digest. So that's,
We're niche.
Yeah. If it was 1 week, I wouldn't have mentioned it, but it's 2 weeks in a row at number 9 in Apple Podcasts Slovakia golf. So whoever has a Slovakia
VPN,
yeah.
hitting that server hard.
Mm-hmm. So this week we got Corey, Randy, and Jaimen. We'll start with Jaimen. How was your week off? When I say week off, I just mean week off from tournament directing. Did you do anything major this weekend?
So I played rounds of disc golf this week. That was really nice on consecutive days, which is not something I've done in a very long time. Got out to Heiser for the first time since the new T-pad went in. I don't know if it was a year or two.
The Shed Foundation for his future outbuilding?
Yes. Yeah, that one. I thought you meant like an organization like the Shed Foundation. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Damn, what a great name for a foundation.
So went out there and played practice round, gearing up for the battle, which is still several weeks away. But yeah, it was nice to play stuff on Friday. I took the day off from work and went out to Maple Hill for the Glitch World Championship, which was a lot of fun. I felt kind of bad. There were people there from like super far away. My card was one guy from Washington, one guy from Idaho that had traveled out together, one guy from Kansas City, and then me who had like driven there that morning and woken up a little bit late. There were some people taking it very seriously, and I was just kind of out there to have fun. I wanted to do well, but some of the guys were like warming up with like entire bags of different glitches and stuff. Just realized I was in a little bit over my head on my desire to compete with the field, I guess. But I shot pretty well. I was 3 under going into hole 17. And like, I think the winning score was 7 down. So I knew I wasn't winning, but I felt like, okay, I can, birdie these 2 par 4s, get to maybe 5 under and, just be up in the top 5, top 10 kind of thing. So trying a little too hard and ended up double bogeying those 2 holes. But I washed all that down with a trip to Marshall Street and then drove home. So it was a good time.
Are there any results?
It's a UDisc league. Yeah, that's one thing that like, I think that the event and the way people were treating it was disparate to how the event runners were treating it, which was a little disappointing. I'm sure more disappointing for people, who had flown to be there and gotten hotels for several days, that kind of stuff. Honestly, the event that Jacob and Amanda ran was better run, and it felt like it had a little bit more heft to it than the actual event that I qualified for. But I had a good time. It was perfect for my level of involvement with it, just driving out there for the day. But I feel like if I had flown there from, Washington all the way across the country and gotten there and just seen the level of commitment to it. There were a couple of food trucks set up and that kind of stuff, but like overall, there was just like a volunteer kind of running everything. We didn't get any emails about the event. And I probably about the month leading up to it, if not the last 2-3 weeks. So it just felt like, that I think they've got something that could be a little bit more of an actual thing, and they just haven't quite gotten there yet with it.
That was on a Friday?
Yep.
It seems late in the year to be able to do a Friday event.
Yeah, it was kind of weird timing. I don't know any reason for it being on a Friday. I feel like next weekend during the Green Mountain Championships would have been the perfect time for it. Like the course would be even better set up for MVP, and all the people who would be trying to practice for MVP wouldn't be there.
It's because Simon has to play it, and like the sponsored athletes have to play it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Simon was the only sponsored athlete there, I think.
I think last year there was a few of them.
Gotcha.
And this was just one round?
Yeah. Tee times. You could more or less choose your tee time. So like 2 of the guys I was playing with, traveled together. So it's like 2 buddies against me and some guy from Kansas City that I met.
Was he cool?
He was super nice. And the other guys were nice too. They had flown there from Washington. They were trying pretty hard.
They're broing out, and you guys were just hanging out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Cards playing.
Yeah. They were getting like super into it. And I think all four of us finished within one stroke of each other. So it didn't really matter in the end. But the gentleman from Kansas City remarked like, hey, I flew all the way out here and I'm playing with two guys who play together all the time because they chose to be on the same card. Like that doesn't seem quite as legit. But in their defense, it could have been me and that guy's version in our heads that we thought it was going to be that was at odds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was fun. I know I'm like critiquing it a lot and all that kind of stuff. I had a great time out there. I would definitely do it again. I'm looking forward to the next MVP event that Amanda and Jacob run. I think they've got something in the works, but I don't know of any dates yet.
This is a relatively new thing, the Glitch World Championship?
I think so. Like last 2 or 3 years, maybe.
Okay, so maybe once they see that, hey, people are actually coming for this. That's the one thing about disc golf is the events seem to improve each time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this is certainly a learning experience for them, I'm sure. They did a good job running it. It's on Maple Hill, so everything's always so perfect there. It's hard to, do anything wrong. Yeah.
Did you play like a mixed layout and some of those holes maybe was the first time you'd ever played them?
Honestly, I don't know if any of them are the first time I've ever played them. I've played a lot of different layouts at Maple Hill. Actually, no, there were 2 completely new holes. 11 and 12 were on the white layout.
Yeah.
Those were weird. They were fine, but they were like just super boilerplate New England holes. I was like, yeah, you could find this at any course in the world, or any course in New England, I should say. So I was a little bummed that we didn't get to go down that hill over to 11 and 12 where like the gold pins are and that kind of stuff, because those are some super cool holes, and I feel like it would be fun to play with a glitch. But
I played it last year, and that was the only thing I was a little let down by. There was pretty much no distance shots. It was all of the like more touch shot kind of holes. It would have been cool to unload on some of them.
Yeah, there were a couple long throws. We got to play from the white tee on 18, which with a glitch, that's a distance throw.
Yes, yeah, it is.
And then we played the diamond hole 10 up to the castle, which was definitely, I bogeyed that one because it was I just tried too hard. But
looks like somebody aced hole 1.
Yeah, I think that was the card right in front of me. I was like warming up, so I didn't notice any commotion or anything. But when we got over there, the flag was against the pin. They had CTPs on every hole, and the CTP prize was entry into a Ring of Fire, and the winner got some kind of MVP basket. But it happened after all the tee times were done. So like when I got done with my tee time, I went to Marshall quick and then went home because I had a bunch of grad work to do. So like I got one of the CTPs during our round. I don't know if it held up at all, but I gave it to the Kansas City guy because I wasn't going to be there for it.
We forget to mention that you're in grad school too and doing all this other crazy.
Stupid. I think the word's stupid.
Classic Jaimen, just slacking, not doing anything.
My grad classes are pretty easy this semester. One of them, actually, we talk about video games a lot. It's I'm designing an educational RPG, which nobody will ever see.
Damn, I used to love those. Wasn't there like those series of classic like educational games, like classic educational game? 4th grade.
Yeah, that'll come right up.
Damn it! I thought it's literally got all the different grades in the name, like a 4th grade one, a 5th grade one.
I would try putting the year you were in 4th grade.
Clue Finders, was that it? Clue Finders 4th, Clue Finders 5th grade. I don't know. Someone might hear this and remember that fucking game, or I'm just like an idiot. Par for the course. Let's move on.
I was gonna say we should do a special edition episode where we play your tabletop RPG that you designed.
No, it's a video game. It's not a game. Yeah.
Whoa.
I like video games.
It's not what I expected at all.
And, listen, worst case, I'm not saying yours is, Jaimen, but there is a huge market for shitty video games.
Oh, it's no, if it made any money, it would be on that market. But no, this is never going to see the light of day. But yeah, no, it was just like one of the random kind of classes that I could take that would fulfill some credit. So I was like, that seems fun. And as every course description in college, it didn't actually say anything about the course. You know what I mean? There's just a bunch of buzzwords. So I didn't really understand what I got into until I got going in it.
That reminds me when I signed up for aerobic fitness, and it was not what I thought it was going to be. It was a bunch of yoga stuff. I got baited. I thought we were going to be like walking. I was trying to like see some stuff on campus.
What was the class again?
It's like aerobic fitness, I think, I took to like satisfy like the physical education part of the degree, whatever.
I would think that's more yoga than walking. I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
instinct.
I mean, I'm a computer guy. I'm not an English guy. I don't know what aerobic means. I thought maybe we'd be doing like synchronized swimming or some shit in a pool.
He took it because he thought it had to do with frisbees or obies.
No. Back then, I was probably not the kind of guy you'd think would be playing disc golf. Be the opposite kind of guy. The guy who was making fun of the disc golfers.
You're still the guy that's making fun of the disc golfers.
Yeah, but now I have like.
Now you have credibility because you play as well, so you can make fun of it.
Yep, I am one of those, so therefore I can make fun of one of those.
So Randy, it's Monday Night Football, Eagles Falcons. So I appreciate that you came on Bird Night. But how was your week?
Man, I hope all the birds have fun tonight.
Yeah.
How was my week? I'll go all the way back to Monday night, but I won't mention the ace except for that just now mentioning it. But I played Cloney Lakers last week, which was everyone Cali. So like all singles, but Cali on the red layout. Managed to shoot 18 down. So that was like a really good recovery from Sunday, which was New York State's.
So with an ace, that means you had a par.
It does. My very first hole.
Late.
Very first hole, like no warm-up.
Invalidated.
Yeah. It feels good. I beat my wife, so.
Whoa.
Hey there.
Yeah. Okay, good job.
Yeah. No. She shot 16 down. So like I literally had to, that ace actually put me back on track to beat her because at that point, I think we were tied through like 12 holes. So it was brutal. Got in Stony Kill doubles. I still can't manage to shoot well at weekly Stony Kill doubles, even though I play there all the time. Like I shoot scores that I should shoot alone. Don't know what's wrong with me, but hey, that's disc golf. And then I did King Richard's Fair this weekend. No disc golf on the weekend. No, that's a lie. I played disc golf this weekend. Stopped at Mountainside on the way home. Hadn't been there before. That's a really cool course. I don't know if you guys have been
Very
there.
fun. Confusing color choices. Yeah. One of the layouts is called Coral. What the hell?
Coral. I didn't know what Coral was.
It's a Walking Dead reference.
Well, yeah, Coral. No, the first basket is like tucked around a corner, so I can only see like a classic Innova yellow basket in the distance. I'm like, I know that's not Coral. So like through the tee shot, then we walked up and I was like, oh, Coral. It's just like off red because like they weren't even very pinkish, which is I think what Coral is supposed to be. But no, that course had great wayfinding. Besides the color choices, it was really well put together, well managed course. It was fun.
Did you ace hole 13?
I hit the cage on hole 2, so hole
damn,
2
it sucks.
good ones.
Me and Jaimen are kind of Eskimo brothers at that course.
Ooh, I can't even remember which one 13 is, but
it might actually not even be 13. It could have been like 15 or something.
I have no idea about the number. I'm just going to trust you. But we got it on different baskets though, right?
Yeah, same hole. Yeah. So what? Yours was like 200 feet longer than mine was. It was like that downhill one. I aced like the little forehand like down the hill, and you aced like the dead straight down the hill one.
I honestly didn't remember that part about it, Corey. I just remember I was like, okay, we got the whole hole covered.
Neither of us were in the Newland Ace Pod either.
Nope, still haven't been.
You can buy into that at the beginning of the year, so you don't have to even like think about it again.
Well, doesn't it happen like
until someone hits
every
it.
month?
Yeah, no. So there's one option where you just drop, I don't know, like $30, and it like they manage it for you. So like you basically put in every month, and like it does the rolling over for you, yada yada. Like you just throw your money in at the beginning, and that's it.
I'd be more inclined to do that than try to remember every month.
Yeah. Do that this year.
Even though it sounds like they might scam me out of like $20, but
yeah,
the potential is there.
I don't think they do. I don't know.
What did you say you were at King Richard's what?
Oh, yeah. King Richard's Fair. It's a really long running Renaissance fair down near Cape Cod. I grew up like 15 minutes away from it. I've pretty much gone for like 25 years now. But it's your like, I don't know, classic Renaissance fair. You eat turkey legs. There's, live jousting and kings and queens doing musical numbers. And the kids want to buy swords and toys and all the things. It's a great time.
I got one of those horns that you can drink out of.
Mm-hmm.
We got a Renaissance fair down here.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been to the one down near you as well. It's in like Tuxedo.
Yeah, Tuxedo. Yep.
Yeah, that one's really good too as well. If you haven't been, or if anybody hasn't been, that one's a little closer than Carver, Mass. But yeah, it's a good time.
Right around when we first moved back up here, I listened to Stern, and he was on that America's Got Talent, and they had like 2 or 3 people at that Renaissance fair that were on the show.
Yeah, Jack Z. Whipper is this handsome guy who does whip things, and everyone fell in love with him. And now he's like getting paid to go to different Renaissance fairs. Like he's from Boston, and he started at King Richard's, and now he's like at the Maryland one because I think they like paid him more kind kind of thing, because he like quit his day job just to literally do this. So,
and it's not like you can do a year-round thing of it because they all seem to be at like the same time of year, like early fall.
Yeah. He like tours around a little bit to like different parts of the country. I guess a little weather dependent to run fairs like that. But yeah, he had like a full-time gig with NPR, and now he's just Jack Z Whipper all the time.
What about you, Corey? You played the Greater Hartford Open? Anything leading up to that?
Are you thinking of something that I'm not thinking of? Or is it a general question?
I didn't want to pigeonhole you into just talking about the Greater Hartford Open. If you had anything else, I didn't, that's all.
Can't really think of anything, so we'll just go straight to the Greater Hartford Open. I had played this event last year, mainly only because it was an A tier, and my brother lives like an hour south of the course. I think it's less than 2 hours from Albany, but whatever, kind of turned into like a little hangout with a little bro and his wife. But yeah, so I played it last year blind, and although I didn't play that well, I still kind of I liked the course and the event. So this year I baited Kyle Hirsch to come play as well. We headed out Friday. Somehow we both got the same tee time, so that worked out for carpooling out there and playing round one. Since I had played the tournament last year, I wasn't really playing blind, but they did make some changes to a few holes that I had never seen before. So while we were playing, Kyle was kind of struggling at first, and he was kind of questioning why he came out and playing this course blind, and wish he would have played at least one practice round to at least see the holes. I had like an okay-ish round for myself, even though I thought that there was definitely some areas I could clean up. A lot of the holes have OB there, and although it's not impossible to score on the course with like a shorter arm, there's definitely a lot of holes that you benefit from throwing a more comfortable like 350 to 400 foot distance, if not more. So yeah, we both played round one. Afterwards, we decided that let's go check out another course. One of the guys we played with was a local, and he recommended, what's it called? Center Springs? I think Center Springs Park in Manchester, Connecticut. It was like 10 minutes from Greater Hartford Open, Wickham Park. It was like listed as a 9-hole course with like multiple tee and basket locations. And I was thinking it was going to be something like Prospect or like a smaller Central Park or whatever. And we get there and it's like anything but that. Most of the holes were fairly long for like a park style course, which helped out because it kind of turned into like our go-to pre-round practice, like warm-up area. So we played there Friday, and then met up with my brother and his wife. I ended up going out and getting pizza in Connecticut is kind of weird. Like you can't just like go somewhere and get a freaking slice. It's usually more of like a restaurant experience. So we had gone out and gotten some pizza and a couple beers. Saturday, Kyle played a little bit better than I did, so I think he started on the card behind me possibly, or one or two after me. I thought that after the round one, I kind of got more of a feel for some of the holes. I could play a little bit more aggressively. I'm going to try to score more, and instead I did the opposite, and I found more OB. After round one, I was in 17th, and I dropped a few places after round two. However, Kyle, after, not playing it blind anymore, shot another 1,000+ rated round. So his first round after playing blind was still 993 rated. I know the ratings for the round seemed pretty generous. That might have been because some people took 17s on holes.
Wait, individual holes?
Yeah, one hole. Now, I took a 7 on it all 3 rounds. It's probably, I have no idea how the distance is, say maybe 700 or 800 feet, par 5, and it's OB left side and right side the entire way, and then the fairway kind of ends, and then there's an island green. So, yeah, this one guy first round took a 17 on it. I'm assuming because he just kept rage throwing, trying to get to the island. He probably went OB a couple times getting down the fairway, and then got to the spot where he could have maybe made the island, and he just kept throwing his bag before wisening up and laying up to a little bit closer. Anyways, so round 2 in classic Corey fashion, I shot a round pretty well below my rating. However, Kyle Hirsch threw a 1025, 7 down, I think, which I believe was tied for the hot round of the day. And then Saturday night, after we finished, we ended up meeting back up with my brother and his wife, and we went and did an escape room, which I had never done before. I don't know if anyone, Randy, you seem like you probably went to an escape room.
How dare you? No, I've never actually done one before.
No? What about you, Jaimen?
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was going to be like, but I know it was $39 a person. So I'm like, this better be the best fucking escape room I've ever been to in my life. And it was fun. I don't think I'd ever like do it again for that price, but like I find it hard to spend $40 on anything that I'm only going to do for an hour. $40 an hour for entertainment seems a little high. Afterwards, we watched Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay, which has been a long time since I watched that movie. So that was a pretty good ending of a Saturday night before we woke up Sunday. And since Kyle had played so much better on second round, now our tee times were even further spread apart. So I think I was playing at 1 and he was at 140, which means he had to get there super early. But after finishing my another mediocre round, I had gone +5 through the first 3 holes, and I took 2 OB strokes in the first one and 1 OB stroke in the second hole, but somehow I was able to stay fairly clean the rest of the course and have like a 1-stroke round better than round 2. Kyle also kind of slipped a little bit, but typically this event is much bigger and draws more well-known people and higher numbers, but it was also the same weekend as Maine States as well as the AFDO in Rochester. So really like the biggest names that were signed up were Colton Montgomery, Wyatt Mahoney, some of their classic, New England people like Kyle Moriarty, Sam Streeter, Gillis McDougall.
Duncan Farquharson.
Duncan Farquharson was there, yep. So Kyle was able to get a top 10 finish at an A tier, 9th place, tied with Colton Montgomery. I'll probably plan on going to it again next year and hope to actually do better. I think Kyle probably would like to go back too. I think it's a fun course to play. Can't wait for next year.
So he did better than you all 3 rounds, but it only counts as 1 win, right?
Oh yeah, that's 1 win, okay. And he only did better than me because I let him. I played with him round 1, and I spent a lot of mental energy trying to show him the course that I wasn't focused enough on my game. But I just like to prop up other people even at my own expense.
That's fair. All right, that's everything about the weekend.
What about you, Pat? You didn't go.
No, I didn't do much.
All right, thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
No. He also won an event, but he's not going to tell us about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shot 20 down at CTK.
Oh, pretty good weekend. Didn't do much.
The Ace race was this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Greg Kurtz was like quizzing me on the rules for the Ace race. Was there like alternate rules used for the Ace race this year?
Oh, I'm going to search this real quick because I'm pretty sure I super lied last week when I talked about this.
What?
Because you were like, you bringing your own discs? And I was like, yes, you can. And I might have been wrong.
Maybe that's where he got that from.
So last year, it was bring your own discs.
Oh, I looked it up. It was in the frequently asked questions. I wonder if Greg he was wearing a Discraft shirt on Sunday, so I just assumed that he had gotten it the day before because, that's how that works. There's only one way Greg could own a Discraft shirt after 50 years of playing disc golf. But yeah, no, it is in the frequently asked section. So I have no actual information. I just assumed he was there. But he's like, wait, you can play with whatever discs you want? I was like, what? No, like that's not how Ace races work.
Wait, so this is an answer. So I'm reading the tournament whatever about this tournament.
Go to FAQs. It's there.
Oh,
rules of play.
In comments?
No, it's just in FAQs. If you go to that, it says rules of play on the right side. I don't know why it's like that. That's a really silly place for them, but
on Disc Golf Scene or on Discraft?
DiscGolfAceRace.com/FAQs.
Ooh. Did that use the circle rules? Like 15 feet is 2 points, hitting metal is 5 points, and ace is 10 points? Because that's what Mark did.
Oh, well, no, I don't know anything about that, but that's...
So last year, it was bring your own discs, and that was the rules. 3 shots in every hole with a point system, which is completely different than a Discraft Ace race. So I don't know.
The way that I've always done it, and the way that it's written on their website is you get 2 discs, you use those 2 discs.
Yes, I have done that.
Yeah,
before.
You throw both of them, and if you get an ace, you write an A on the scorecard, and if you get an M, you write an M. Or sorry,
if you get an M,
if you get an M, you write an M. It's not that hard. And you write M for metal hits. The player with the most aces after the second round is declared the winner. In the case of ties, the number of metal hits is used as a tiebreaker. If a tie persists, a closest to the pin contest is then held to determine the event winner. If the event participants are evenly far away from the pin, then it goes to a chugging contest.
Is that actually in there?
No, I made that part up.
I was going to say, what the hell are they promoting?
I just thought it was funny how
I'm down.
There's how many layers of this ace race rules there are.
So none of those rules apply to Mark's event.
Yeah.
But I still wonder about the disc part, and he doesn't say either way on his rules. But because he had Discraft gear, it made me think, oh no, like, did you need to throw the ace race discs? But doesn't seem like it.
I don't know. Actually, Mark's probably going to be on next week.
No, let's not let him talk about it.
Well, we can answer those questions, those burning questions. You'll have to wait till next week. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, don't mention this to him at all, and we'll just grill him for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Push him up against a locker.
Ask him a ton of questions that are tangentially related, and then just like really back him into a corner.
Yeah.
He actually messaged me suggesting, I guess Scott Stokely is going to be in the area. I guess he's going to the New York disc golf store tomorrow for a meet and greet. And he's like, not sure where he is today, but if he's hanging out locally, maybe it's worth having him on the podcast. And I was like, well, I couldn't have him on today. I don't know anything about Scott Stokely, and I wouldn't want to embarrass myself asking him dumbass questions. But I said, maybe I'll do some research and, after the visit's over, ask him about his visit to the area, maybe something like that. But I said, personally, I'd like to speak with the TD who ran that ace race this past weekend, but he's too busy growing the sport in his area by running dubs. So I can't. And he said, well, I'll be available next week. So I said, okay. So he'll probably be on next Monday. He said he's got some other stuff some projects he's working on, Fortin Park and Thatcher Park.
I played the long tees that are just paint on the ground for Thatcher for the back nine. They were very fun. Get out there and play them.
I did want to mention a couple dub leagues that ended this past week, so I thought we'd talk about them. The Shen Creek Dubs, this was Jeff Wachowski's first year running Shen Creek Dubs, and he posted the results. They paid out top 5. 5th place, Dan McCrae, got $30. Anthony Stamboli got $55. 3rd place, Chuck Gordon, got himself $105. Joe Karen came in 2nd for $135, but your winner for Shen Creek Dubs Year 1, Cody Miller, with 244 points, beat Joe Karen by 8 points. Good job, Cody Miller. And also ended this past week with CPS doubles. 5th place, Peter Cornish, got himself $45. Earl Steenberg came in 4th at $50. Dennis Daly in 3rd at $56. Jason Gorsage came in 2nd place, got him $62. And your winner of CPS Doubles League, Jeremy Millian. Jeremy Forehand Florida Man Millian, if I remember correctly, got Corey's favorite number, $69.
Nice. Was their season super short, or do they only do like $1 out of entry fee to payouts or to season payouts? For
CPS doubles, it said $448 paid out, and they paid out top 10. I only listed the top 5.
Okay.
10th place got $27. First place got $69. So it wasn't a huge gap. Like, for example, Jeff, they just did the top 5, so it was weighted more towards the top. Amount-wise, it's about the same. I'm not doing that math real quick, but if I add up the big numbers, that's around 400. Figure $500. How many more weeks you guys got, Corey?
So at the time of recording, we have 2 more weeks. By the time this is listened to, there's only 1 more week. We basically have September 17th, and then the 24th is the last week of actual season play, week 28.
And then the week after is when you do stuff?
Yep. October 1st, that first Tuesday in October is when we'll have end of season party, and Danny Parton will be setting up his skills competition. I heard that he's got some changes in mind for this year, some slight tweaks, maybe the addition of 1 hole, I call it a hole, 1 station. But yeah, as long as the weather is good, it should be a pretty fun time.
Can anybody...
Anyone's invited. Yeah, anyone's invited.
No. What I'm asking is, can anybody beat Justin Muccelli at this point?
I think the only way I catch Justin, because I'm in 2nd, he's got 28 points on me, is I would have to get multiple aces. He would have to come absolutely dead last in the next 2 weeks, assuming he even shows up. I would have to win, and there'd probably have to be, I don't know, at least like 15 to 20 people that show up, if not more. Fat chance, basically. Muccelli's basically got 1st place locked down. I basically got 2nd place locked down. Chad Larson probably comes in 3rd. And then 4th and 5th could go to Joe Deskulka and Chedman Dryza. See how that washes out. I think I forget if I said top 6 gets paid. So currently Danny Parton's in 6th, but I could, him or Brian Monahan or Brendan Sisk or maybe even classic J Park guy AT Andrew Teague could get that last cash spot.
So Corey, you created an event for 2024 J-Dubs Points Championship. What is that picture?
So, I guess that's another thing how my weekend went or my week went. I don't know. It's all coming blurry, but ever since week 1, which I should go back to see because it was so long ago. I mean, 26 weeks ago. Every time I would create the Facebook event for the group, like one of the first things you do when you create an event is it gives you the option to like choose like an event photo. And I was always just using like whatever was random in my camera roll on my phone. So it just kind of turned into a thing where like I would pick just some random, I don't take a lot of pictures. So sometimes it's kind of hard. I'd make the Facebook event cover photo a picture from the past week that I took or screenshotted or whatever. So this particular week is just an oil leak in my truck that's leaving spots everywhere I park, but also at the same time rust proofing the whole front underside of my truck. So that's what the picture is.
The more you know.
There's been some classics like, well, actually I can't think of a single one, so I guess they weren't really classics. But no, yeah, there were some classic photos in there somewhere. There was at least one that had Camel Case Corey in their jerseys from the Stony Hill Scramble. That's a classic, I guess.
Who wrote disc captains in chalk above, like, I'm gonna guess a bar?
Oh, that was me.
Like
that was at BT Smokehouse that all the disc cap boomers like to go to after Massachusetts matches.
Nice, dude.
That was after we were coming back from that 501 tournament or Meadowbrook tournament. We stepped at BT's. Myself, Kyle, Hirsch, Justin Mucelli, and whoever else. So like the exact opposite of disc captains boomers. It was disc captain millennials or whatever generation they are. Anyways, so yeah, I walked into the bathroom, saw that there was chalk, which was already kind of gross that there was just like chalk in the bathroom, and then people are just using that chalk all the time to write shit on the walls. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to write disc captains in there, which I'm kind of surprised it was not already written, to be honest, and then send that picture to aforementioned disc cap boomers because I know they'd love it. And they did. It was a win.
Last week we kind of talked about Paint Bureau. That's over as well.
Yep. So it seems like as each week goes by, I get one more free weekday. First kickball ended, then Paint Bureau Pro League ended. Now J-Dubs is coming to an end. And now I just have to wait to get canceled, and then my Mondays will be free too.
I saw a commercial the other day that had kickball in it. It was for some drug. I wish I wrote down the name of the drug.
What a connection.
Not like, like these drug commercials they have.
Oh, it's probably some antidepressive.
Probably if you're playing kickball. No.
Just sunshine and kickball. That should get the people through the long list of side effects.
Mm-hmm. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Had you guys heard about the Masters at Bud Hill?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If for no other reason than Jeff Wachowski commenting on every group about it really pushed it to my feed, so I got to
That's probably how I saw it. Yeah. Should I read this? So it's not that super long, but
yeah, the guy's post, yeah.
I'll read that real quick and then let you guys comment.
I've read it a bunch. While you read it, I'm going to grab a beer real quick.
Absolutely.
I'm drinking Sunny D vodka seltzers. I have no idea where they came from, but I saw them in my fridge. This does kind of sound like something that Randy would drink. Like, oh, I thought I was buying these for my kids, and I realized that I had to give them my ID to buy them, which seems kind of weird.
You make me sound like so old. No, I would buy those for myself because they sound great.
Well, then you had one and realized that you loved them because they are pretty good. But
I had like an Ocean Spray, cranberry, pineapple, like canned drink. Oh, it was so good.
It was alcoholic?
Yeah, it had
it does sound delightful. Were you
great.
You laying in a hammock while you drank it with your dogs out? No socks, no sandals?
I was in my sister-in-law's brother-in-law's kitchen. That paints a picture.
Brother-in-law. So is that like your brother? I don't know how that works out. Is that a full circle?
No, extremely distantly not related. But he gave me a drink, and that's all that matters.
Bros for life.
Yep.
I just imagine Jaimen getting away so that he didn't have to hear me read this.
And then we talked all the time. You blew
it.
I haven't got to read it. They were talking about their Sunny Delight or whatever they're drinking.
Son of a bitch. All right, well, I got to go flip the laundry anyways. I'll be right back again.
Absolutely. All right, so the Masters at Bud Hill. Masters players, I am broken and embarrassed to have to tell you all of this. I'm canceling the 2024 Masters at Bud Hill. I tried every way I could think of to salvage this, and I alone am responsible. I used Masters money to fund events and vending fees in the beginning of the season after not working through the winter. I have done this each year, and as the season goes on, the money gets replaced. That was not the case this year. Through some personal medical issues, higher costs, and much lower participation in our sport, I just couldn't catch up. It has been a horrible financial year. Bad enough that I'm having to file for bankruptcy. I am beyond embarrassed and broken that I'm letting so many friends and loved ones down. This has nothing to do with the Daniels or Bud Hill. This is on me. I want you all to know that I will repay every one of you, but it won't happen overnight. I'm working on liquidating my inventory and will begin refunding when that happens. It will not cover everyone, but I will continue getting them out as quickly as I can. Once again, I'm so sorry that this has happened. I love the Masters and all of you. I know feelings will vary, but I accept responsibility for my mistakes, and I hope that you can forgive me.
Sounds familiar.
I was going to say nothing has ever happened like that before.
The first thing I'd like to point out is, I guess this event, is it Fraser, Memphis, Tennessee?
Sounds correct.
That was like 10 minutes from where I used to live.
Oh, really? You went to high school with this guy?
No. I went to college in Memphis. I don't know where Bud Hill is, but Fraser was 10 minutes from where I lived. So, Jaimen, you back?
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
It sounds like pretty textbook embezzlement from everything that he's saying. Is, I've done this every year and the money's always back by the time that the tournament happens. But, he's using funds that were meant for a tournament for something that those funds weren't meant for, with the anticipation of those funds being replenished by the time that he actually needs them. Like, if you talk to an economist, they might say, well, no, that's not how it works. All the money is one big pool, but that's not how it works in that case. And he should have had separate accounts and that kind of stuff. It just seems like a big giant mess and something that was years in the making. And it sounds like he had just gotten complacent with how that tournament had ran, and he wasn't looking as far ahead as he should have been.
Personal medical issues should have nothing to do with it, unless that's where you're spending the money on.
Yeah, it seemed like he had an awful lot of excuses for it, and it totally, I understand. It sounds like his situation also sucked, but it doesn't sound like it was actually part of the equation. He just, and I'm not part of the situation, so I don't really know, but it feels to me like he was just using it as an out.
Makes sense. I don't know. I don't see disc golf as a moneymaker in the A tiers and the tour stuff. Maybe there, but I just don't see it as a consistent moneymaker. There's just not the demand for it. If you're running 2 or 3 events, that's one thing, but trying to do to where you're rolling one into the other, I just don't see the viability of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Jack is the one that said the best way to make a small fortune in disc golf is to start out with a large fortune.
Takes money to make money, baby. Gotta spend it.
I mean, and it's on a much smaller scale, but that's why I don't really advertise a disc golf podcast. Earlier this year, we talked about the state coordinator position, and there were 300 votes in the state of New York. That's my audience right there. I'm looking at 300 people in the state of New York. I'm sure there's a few people that don't have active PDGA memberships that listen, but that's the kind of numbers I'm thinking of. So to me, advertising doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a huge fan base that I'm missing out on by not advertising.
Yeah, you just gotta remember those Scandinavian listeners or wherever they were from.
Slovakia.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Scandinavians and the Slovakians.
It's not exactly the same. And obviously, everybody had those COVID numbers in their head, but, it's not viable, in my opinion.
Yeah. You need to be very shrewd if you're ever going to do anything like making a living off of disc golf. And even then, it's all about adjusting your expectations. There's no really, really rich people in disc golf except for maybe the owners of some of the companies that, manufacture the discs. Everybody else in disc golf is skating by or donating to keep things moving.
Those companies that make the discs, they've got the whole country. But if you're running events, you're focusing on a region.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sport that I think one of the main draws is that it's cheap to get into. I mean, I think there are your big spenders, specifically with limited edition discs, you find out there's people that spend a lot of money, but the average disc golfer is not someone that is frivolous with their money. I don't think it's a lot of people that play this sport instead of regular golf or some other hobby because it is inexpensive. I mean, most courses are free. So you're not spending a lot of money, on a monthly basis on disc golf.
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole thing was kind of odd because he had posted on his own disc golf scene thing, put his name and mentioned he was from Dynamic Disc, or at least put that in a signature, and then had a phone number and an email. But then also it seems like he possibly deleted that whole comment. So somebody else has copied and pasted it So it's there.
From what I heard, the post that's being shared now, the name on the bottom is the state coordinator from where that was from. So, like, the guy that did this is J-Ray, right? That's like what he goes by.
That's the name I have.
The photo that I've seen shared so many times, his name's not on there anywhere. It's the state coordinator posting J-Ray's stuff without his name on it.
The only other thing that really caught my eye was there was like bigger names in disc golf, like commenting, defending the guy, and I just like don't love that look. It seems pretty obvious like the guy wasn't good at business, and like I don't know, there shouldn't be like emotions involved with like declaring if someone is good at doing business or not.
Right. Yeah, that's nobody's going, this guy's a mean dude. I bet he doesn't like dogs. You know, it's like they're saying he objectively committed a financial crime.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't understand. He's a good guy. You can trust me. I do commenting for disc golf tournaments.
Yeah.
Commentary.
There we go. Thank you.
I wonder how long he's done it and like to what scale. Like that was another big thing too.
That's the question, because I've done this each year, and as the season goes on, the money gets replaced. So
right. You know, just to put it another way, if people are on the fence about it, like if you take out disc golf entries and put in retirement accounts, all of a sudden, you know, like that's you're only changing the product. You're not changing what happened on any other level, and it's one of the biggest scandals that's ever happened in the financial world. All of a sudden,
I'm sure he went into it thinking I'm doing a good thing. Jaimen pointed, it's not like he wasn't going into it trying to take people's money, but you got to have forethought. You got to think ahead. Way too much instant gratification.
Yeah, and I think that it's part of our society where people don't ask for help until it's way too late for a situation.
That's what I was going to say.
In hindsight, he obviously has an awful lot of support. In the time when he was using that money, if, you know, and it's easy to say this now that it's already happened, but if he had utilized that support that he so clearly has before it happened, it probably wouldn't have happened this way. There's a lot of things that he could have done beforehand, but, you know, that's a lesson for absolutely everybody, is that everybody kind of gets embarrassed to ask for help and that kind of stuff, but everybody needs help at some time. And the results are going to be so much better if you utilize the support networks that you have, even if, you know, it can be a little embarrassing sometimes for whatever, you know, there's a million things that can work for.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the fact that he said he's been doing it every year, I just wonder if, like, every year that back pay had grown, like, he never actually fully paid anything back. And then after so many years, it just became, like, I'm pretty sure the numbers that were kind of worked out were, like, just on entry fees, it was, like, 30 grand.
It's like $150 a person or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is. One of the comments in Disc Golf Scene says $27,000 at least. But that's kind of a large amount of money to just try to, like, recreate out of thin air, especially if you have other normal expenses. So I wonder if, like, you know, first couple years he only was carrying over like a $5,000 debt, then all of a sudden it just became, because he wasn't asking for help or whatever, or, you know, didn't want to nip it in the bud when it first started becoming a problem. It just grew and grew and grew until it popped.
And that's where I might have misread, because I think Jaimen clarified this, but he said, where was it, about not working?
Oh, he talks about it a few times, that, like, you know, he had health issues, so he wasn't working earlier in the year.
And that's the thing. You're saying that he mentions the fact that he had health issues and that he's not working just as sympathy. But it made me think when I first read it, like, what, is that what you're using the money for? Because you're not working and you have medical issues.
Oh, yeah. And it could be both, you know?
Because then it's like, hypothetically, you're using disc golf as a bank account. I don't run tournaments. I mean, I've done a couple, but they were not about making money. In fact, they always lost money because they were parties more than disc golf tournaments. But, like, is there... And I'm asking Jaimen, having run these tournaments, is there ever money left over, or is there only ever a deficit?
There's always a deficit. The PDJ kind of makes it annoying to do certain things. One of the things that always leads to some kind of annoying deficit, it seems like, regardless of how much I look at the numbers and stuff, you can only put in whole dollar amounts in the calculations.
Got all this rounding error going on.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, like, the New York States had 128 people, I know, because I had to keep calculating the rounding errors to making sure that I'm not, like, hemorrhaging money. And it still resulted in hemorrhaging a little bit of money. For New York States, for all of the calculating and all that kind of stuff that I did, I think the number was $71.33 or something that I was short in the end of the day, which for a tournament with that complexity, I think is excellent. I'll take that. I have no problem eating $71.33. That's also accounting for the fact that Discap is the one that bought the t-shirts. So now they have those extra t-shirts and the discs and the coffee and the extra mitten bags and stuff. So since there was an organization that bought those things and doesn't mind holding on to them and using them for other things, and having bought them, they don't mind that extra small amount of money spent on those. If that's a person, that's a much more substantial amount of money and product that you have, some of which will go bad at some point if it's not used, and some of which is just like CTP prizes now. There's no monetary value for that anymore. But yeah, there's all sorts of things that if you really read the fine print, there's certain things that the PDGA tells you not to do. For instance, one of them for me is I can't find any actually legitimate way to pass the sanctioning fee of a tournament onto the players. So like it costs $75 to sanction a tournament. And as far as I can tell, the PDGA just expects the tournament director to pay that and then just live with paying that. Which for me this year alone would have been like $600 or $700 in sanctioning fees, maybe less. I'm really bad at math, but a significant amount of money. That's so like in my tournaments, there ended up being like a $1 TD fee. That again, since you can't round anything, it's always a cent value that you're doing because it's 72 people, and it's so all of that kind of stuff. There's always money being spent over what you're expecting, unless you're really shrewd and just have a TD fee in there that covers that, which very few TDs I know utilize that.
Okay, so question.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes the most sense, right, you would think that the people who make decisions in the PGA have tournament experience, or at the very least are players. You would think that they actually play, but should have some sort of tournament experience. How come this hasn't been changed? This seems like something very simple. I want to see this on some ballots, some day one shit for tournament directors like Jaimen that are not eating $300 a tournament and bullshit rounding errors.
I don't know what the answer to that is, and I feel like the PDGA doesn't care about it because none of it's passed on to them. This isn't amounts of money that the PDGA all of a sudden owes anybody. It's stuff that is owed to the PDGA. So the PDGA is not really, it's not top priority for them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm also just have an entire year of running tournaments to complain about. But so have
I been misled? Does the PDGA own or whatever disc golf scene?
Yes.
Now, true or false, when I sign up for a tournament through Disc Golf Scene, am I not charged some like $2 fee or some bullshit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
where's that money going? I would assume that money is going to shit like this.
That's going to the PDGA.
These mother. They're charging me to play a sanctioned event and then also charging the TD to sanction the event.
And then they're charging you to register for the event through that player's fee. For a B tier, there's also $3 taken out of your entry fee to go to the PDGA.
These dudes. I'm about to join the movement, actually. I was going to say start the movement. I might become one of those people that like, I'll pay the $10 fee. Fuck the PDGA. I ain't going to be a member. I don't give a shit about a rating. Oh, but then I'm going to get even more pissed when I realize I have to be a member to play B tiers or above.
Yes.
Damn, they got me.
I ran into this a little bit with the Helderberg thing, and the only reason I did PDGA was for the insurance, and like state parks require you to have insurance. So that's like the easiest way to do it. But same thing. I thought I rounded up enough on things, and then you get to the end and you still haven't somehow, and you end up like throwing your own money to like round things off. So next year the tournament will be called the TD fee, and no one will get any prizes. It's gonna be great.
You're gonna keep all the rocks?
Yeah, everybody gets rocked.
I paint a bunch, and everyone, I just send everyone to their cars. It's like
they didn't realize that all the rocks came from each one of their houses. Like you just stole their rocks and then passed them back.
The BYOR.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's actually legit. Hold on. Bring your own rock. Double meaning.
Yeah.
You can't play, Randy. You just got to spend the whole time while people are playing painting the rocks
Just
for
painting.
like first place, second place.
That's not a bad way to spend the day, I don't think.
And I'd be surprised if you didn't like third party the workout to your kids.
That's a good idea. Next year, rocks painted by children.
And even if it was just
Even
chalk. Kids love chalk
They
and
do.
rocks.
So I think if we learned anything from this is that you're not making money as a tournament director, But if you want to start your own association, you might be able to make a couple bucks.
All that being said, I do think the PDJ is doing good things. I'm just frustrated with those few things, and they're things that I run into every single tournament that I do. So, they just kind of snowball after a while. But, I'm sure the PDJ is doing a ton of things behind the scenes, but it's those kind of things that they really put the tournament directors on the front line of having to deal with all of the bullshit. And it kind of sucks, They were talking about this year making it necessary to have a current membership to play in a C tier. Every time they bump that down a tier, that just means that there's more tournaments that the tournament directors now need to be in charge of making sure that everybody's there. There's a lot of things that the tournament directors have to do, and there's really not that much that the PDJ does on their end to make the tournaments happen. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I want the PDJ to handle all payouts for tax purposes, for situations where tournament directors don't have the money for the tournament like they should. It's pretty crazy how much of the onus is put on the players and the tournament directors to police absolutely every aspect of a tournament if it goes wrong, when the PDJ is the one that is benefiting from every single tournament that goes right.
Well said. I figure we can go over some SkipAce. We had 2 events last week, the New York State Disc Golf Championships and the Discraft Great Lakes Open.
Oh, yeah.
Starting with New York State's, we had 29 participants, which is pretty impressive. What's more impressive, in 28th place, Corey Cook.
What in the... Oh, what Stevenson.
Yeah. He got me too, and I'm the one that took him off of the registration.
This was supposed to be free points, and instead I'm down here with the freaking schmucks.
I mean, 845 points, not too terrible. But in 24th place, Rob Weiss of the Mississippi also had Whit Stevenson. Kathleen Bemis got Whit Stevenson. In 24th place, tied with Jaimen Hume, also got Whit Stevenson. Flying Squirrel in 20th place, Whit Stevenson. Moving up to 17th place, there's a tie between Kyle Hirsch and Randy Bobandy, both Whit Stevenson.
Yep.
That's what we get for going chalk.
Yeah, it seems to be a theme. Ryan Travis 148-343 in 16th place. No Whit Stevenson. Top 10, Alex Potts in 10th place. Tie for 8th. One half of Camel Case Corey Brian Monahan tied Sparky Spalding. But then we got a 4-way tie for 4th place between myself, Joe Gaspardi, Jason Lasasso Star, and Ivan Marmota. 3rd place, Highland Mike Warner. Jason's Mechanic in 2nd. And Stubbs, your winner, in 1st place. Only 1369 for the winner. And last place was 426. And then Corey was next to last place with 845. So it wasn't like a huge divide between first and last place.
Doesn't matter how much you sugarcoat it, Pat, it still hurts.
Well, top 16 had over 1,000 points. Anybody who took Whit Stevenson probably had less than 1,000 points, would be my guess.
Yeah, got Stevenson.
Mm-hmm. So moving over, we got the Disc Golf Pro Tour Discraft Great Lakes Open presented by Garrett J. Verberg. Had 30 for that. 30th place, minus 208 points, Randy Bobandy.
That's my worst ever, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Paige Pierce.
Your FPO division.
3 people negative.
Paige, did she back out, this tournament, she backed out, round 2 or whatever, DNF halfway through, partial way through?
No clue, honestly.
Well, Jason came in 27th with minus 25 points. I came in 24th with 131 points. Paige Pierce got me as well, and Austin Hannum. Rob Weiss of Mississippi in 23rd, so that might bode well for Corey.
I like it.
Kevin Kroenke in 21st. Jaimen Hume in 19th, right behind Ryan Travis 148-343 and Ivan Marmota. Kyle Hirsch and Kathleen Beam is tied at 14th. Top 10, Jason's Mechanic in 10th. Callie Josh in 9th. Brandon Klein in 8th. Jacob Dunbar in 7th. Lefty Flick 21 in 6th. Joe Gaspardi in 5th. Highland Mike Warner 4th. One half of Camel Case Corey Brian Monahan in 3rd. And then Corey, 2nd place.
Yee.
790. You have less points in this event, and you're in 2nd than in the other one. You had 845.
Yeah.
Well, Stubbs had 846 to win it.
I'm curious what the hell happened. Why did all the scores so low?
Well, he doesn't have anybody. 196 is his high, equal McMahon. I don't know. Is there a way to pull up the actual event?
If you click on the title, usually it'll bring it to you.
Gannon Burr won it. I guess nobody picked Gannon Burr, Isaac Robinson, or Richard Wysocki.
They're too expensive.
Yeah, that might. If you go through the previous events, no one's really getting more than 900 points, except for in these European events. obviously like the local ones, but we might have to look into raising the point total.
Yeah, you put a Kristen Tatar in there, and then you got to pick a bunch of 9-15 guys.
Although, I mean, it does kind of, at least the people that actually watch the events and maybe root for who they pick, like it kind of gives you a reason to root for some other people other than just the classics. But
that's fair.
Do we really need to see scores over 1,000 every week? I don't know. It does
That's a
make it
good
kind of hard
point.
to make picks, but that just means you can't pick, like, obviously you can't pick the top 3 guys. Like, what are we even doing here? What about them dark horse picks?
That's all it is, though. It's all dark. You get one halfway decent pick, and the rest are dark horse in there.
True.
All right, so let's take a look at the overall. Overall, we got 50 people who've picked. I'm in 29th. I am ahead of Turtles in Your Face, Corey Me Up Cook, and Corey Buns. So that's something. Flying Squirrel still got me in 27th by 700 points with 2 events left. Alex Potts in 24th, right behind Jason Lasasso in 23rd. Stubbs, who won the last 2 weeks, is only in 22nd, which is good because we'd have to figure out who it is. 21st place, Randy Bobandy.
Woo.
19th is one half of Camel Case Corey, Brian Monahan. Kathleen Bemis in 17th. I posted about the 2 events left for SkipAce. Don't let me pass it. Like, I won't.
Yeah.
I got to get 4,000 points on her. So, yeah, she doesn't have to pick again. I'm not passing her. Jaimen Human 16th. The other half of Camel Case Corey, Tim Goyette in 15th. Baker Smith 14th. Ryan Nelson in 13th. Zach McDonald 12th. Highland Mike Warner in 11th. Rob Wiested of Mississippi in 10th.
Because
Less than 200 points behind Corey Cook in 9th.
yes, right where I want them. Behind me.
Joe Gaspardi in 8th, behind Brandon Klein, who passed you. Still like 600 points, less than 600 points. 6th place, Brian Heller. Kyle Hirsch in his usual place ahead of Corey in 5th.
Got me.
Ivan Ivan Marmota in 4th. Ryan Travis 148343 in 3rd. Mike Schwartz, 2nd place. He's a few hundred points behind your leader, Jason's Mechanic. So Mike Schwartz looking to back it. What's the math there? Anybody? I can't do math that quick. 300.
Like 700.
700 points. Under 700 points. Jason's Mechanic is about 700 points ahead of Mike Schwartz. So 2 events left. One this week, the DGPT playoffs. Green Mountain Championship at Smuggler's Notch. And then the MVP Open OTB by Off Track Betting.
I'm sure this is going to come to no surprise to like Jaimen and other people that have played the course. But I think I'm more interested to watch this tournament now that I've already experienced the courses. Like so many more holes would be like, oh, yes. That's how you throw this fucking hole.
Yeah, seeing some of the play on some of those holes is like just frustrating.
Especially some of the holes that like aren't the iconic ones. Obviously, I've watched coverage at like Smuggler's Notch a lot, but like so I can remember holes like 1 on Brewster and well, I guess 1 on Fox Run as well. It's 18 and some of the other holes, but like it's those other holes that maybe aren't so memorable just from watching it, but now having experienced them.
Yeah, hole 9 on Fox Run for me is like the most understated hole on coverage.
That was the par 5.
No, that's the par 3 with the rock behind the basket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's another iconic hole that I remember. Yeah.
The one with the water right behind it. It's on the front 9 somewhere.
That's 5 or 6.
Like to the left of it?
Yeah, it's kind of on a ridge. Yeah, like I can't get anywhere near the circle on that one. They do it all the time on coverage. Like there's other holes on the Pro Tour that I've played where I'm just like, oh, okay, like I can sort of do this. And that one's just like, no chance. Never gonna. I don't understand. It's like not a distance thing. It's like the whole inclusive, like you gotta have the right angle, everything. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, no, it's a wild course to play. It's a wild course to see played really well.
Corey, what do you got coming up this week?
I was supposed to play CNY championships out in the CNY area. They're like changing the setup this year to where they're playing day 1 tee times 1 round, 18 holes that I forget the course, but I would be playing it blind. And then day 2 was shotgun start, 27 holes, 1 round at Oxbow Falls. And I have not played whatever 9-hole edition they added to that either. So I was supposed to go out there, and I figured that I didn't really play all that well at Greater Hartford. And I didn't want to play like some blind, like 1.5, basically blind courses. And I got too much shit going around the house that like maybe I'll take a weekend off from playing tournaments. So hoping to maybe instead get down to Wilcox and play down there before the Wilcox Wow in a couple weekends, and at least check out the new South Hatchet holes or the updated blues. I'm not sure how much of them actually resemble what was previously there, but
All right. Randy, what do you got coming up?
This weekend, I got nothing. And then I'm volunteering at MVP again this year, which was honestly one of my most fun weekends last year. That includes doing a glow round in the evening. And if you haven't done it at Maple, they put a lot of attention to detail in it with like string lights and like little like rocks that also glow. So like it's really easy to navigate, even though it's pitch dark out. It's a really good weekend.
They don't overdo it though, right?
No, you still can't see at all other than like where you're throwing and kind of where you're walking. It's pretty, yeah.
I think that's a delicate balance that not everybody gets right. I've played some where the basket looks like it's blinding to look at. You know, it's like it's just too much.
No, like you get really disoriented too, because like you're on fairways that you've played before, but they purposely kind of set the course up to minimize the walking, which, you know, saves on their setup as well. So you're playing some like walking paths as fairways instead, basically. Like you're not standing on standard tee pads for most of the holes. You're just at like a thing on the ground. It's pretty awesome though. And there's people on the whole course. So you can just see people like wandering around with their UV like flashlights, and it's a good time.
And you said you volunteered there before. What did you do volunteer wise?
Last year, I was just scorekeeping. I actually got to scorekeep for Matty O's chase card win, which was insane. As a scorekeeper on like the morning rounds, you're just hanging out and like you can chit chat with the players, honestly, because they're not in a weird mood or anything. It's a pretty casual experience. And then in the afternoon, when you're scorekeeping for the, you know, chase card, for example, you're also like sort of forming like the security line at some points because the crowd gets really big. And then you're also trying to do the stat keeping for where people's discs are landing. It's pretty wild. And then when Maddie like actually won last year, like I just got completely absorbed by the crowd, couldn't do anything. And I still had to like fight my way through to get to Mike's shed to like finalize scores. But that was a cool experience.
Do you know what you'll be doing this time, or you'll find out when you get there?
No, it's really well organized. There's an email that says what I'm doing. I just honestly haven't opened it up yet. It's still 2 weeks away.
I was just curious.
Hopefully scorekeeping though. It's a really awesome experience.
Cool. What do you got coming up, Jaimen? Another tournament that you're running?
Yeah, yep. I'm running the Long Island Open. No, I am heading there though, so I'm finally making out.
Are you playing that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. So I'm excited to actually get out to Heckscher. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I'm actually going to do it. One of the guys who was responsible for helping Ernie put the courses in design-wise and installation was Neil Dombra, who was up for state. So I talked to him a lot then, and he's like, oh, you know, you should come down. Apparently they've got some sort of a project going on down there. So I might get a chance to get a sneak peek at that also. So it was just like too many things to pass up. So I'm finally going to make it down there. Hopefully I get to play around with Phil and Antonio because they've been trying to get some of us guys down there this whole time, hoping that going down there this year will start to be some kind of a path so that more of us go down there in the future. It is a really long way away. I think I'm going to have to stay somewhere like halfway there Friday night and then make the rest of the drive Saturday. It's like a 4.5 hour drive from Glens Falls.
So you've never played the course?
No.
The fairways, very fair, but don't get off them. The rough is just, it's very difficult. Mind you, I haven't played there in a couple of years, so courses can adapt and change over time, but they're really wide fairways, but if you get off of them, it's...
Natural OB?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I think you'll do really well.
I'm hoping so. I'm looking forward to it. It's like, for a long time, it's been on my list of places to go. It just also happens to be farther away than like Boston, Montreal, Syracuse, Delaware. You know, it's a hard place to get out to.
Absolutely. You guys want to finish up with a quiz?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Does somebody want to go Cali and we'll do 2 rounds, or do you want to go single and do 3?
I don't know if some of these spiked Sunny D's got me feeling a little rambunctious. I wouldn't be against going Cali, but I'm definitely voting way harder for singles.
I'm good with singles.
Singles?
I vote for Corey doing Cali. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's like 1.5 votes now.
No, we can do singles. It's fine.
All right. Well, we'll let Corey go first, because what are you drinking again?
They are Sunny D vodka seltzers.
Yeah, wait, what?
You missed this.
Oh, yeah, you missed this.
Okay.
I found them in my fridge. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if someone brought them over for our live fantasy football draft.
It's the 90s fairy.
Oh, that's the best kind.
That sounds really good. I'm going
Pretty
to
good.
screw up my weekend. No.
4.5%ers. Nothing crazy.
All right, Corey, you got the first pick. You want category 1, category 2, or category 3?
Do it for Dale. Let's get number 3, brother.
Question 1, category 3. When a current doubles back on itself, a type of miniature vortex is created, a phenomenon known by what common first name? When a current doubles back on itself, a type of miniature vortex is created, a phenomenon known by what common first name?
Shit. When a current doubles back on itself. First I was going to say riptide, but that doesn't really seem like a current. And I was kind of thinking vortex and maybe a whirlpool. What was the end of that? Referred to as by its first name?
A phenomenon known by what common first name?
Common first name. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with whirlpool.
What do you got, Randy?
I was hoping you were going to me last because I haven't thought of it yet.
When a current doubles back on itself, a type of miniature vortex is created, a phenomenon known by what common first name?
I don't want to say something that's not a common first name. This is the problem. Let's go with Mike.
What do you got, Jaimen?
It's Eddie. It's an Eddie.
All right. Randy, category 1, 2, or 3?
Wait, is it not Eddie?
Wait, was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the Eddie a disc.
I was like, thanks for letting me down lightly. I'm going to say yes. The Eddie is a disc.
I'm sorry, no. Randy, category 1, 2, or 3?
Let's explore category 2.
Question 1, category 2. Making some big noise, AC/DC got some rock and roll what? While Kiss staked a claim as god of it. Making some noise, AC/DC got some rock and roll what? While Kiss staked a claim as the god of it.
I'm going to go love.
Jaimen?
I was really hoping Randy was right. Can you hear the question again?
Making some big noise, AC/DC got some rock and roll what? While Kiss staked a claim as the god of it.
I have no idea. I don't understand how you guys can talk through stuff with yourself out loud. I'm incapable of doing that. So I'm sorry about all the bad podcasting this is making.
You just got to be not scared to sound stupid.
I always sound stupid though. So yeah, I don't know. I also just don't have a thought process. I just kind of just wait until something pops up. I don't have the faintest idea, and I don't want to say something stupid. I'm going to say guitar.
Corey?
I have an answer, but I just want to hear you say the question one more time, Pat.
Making some big noise, AC/DC got some rock and roll what? While Kiss staked a claim as the god of it.
Oh, got some rock and roll. This is gonna sound stupid, but it's kind of the only thing that stuck in my head, and I don't really give a shit. So thunder, because it's the god of thunder.
God of thunder and rock and roll. Is the thunder a disc?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
The spell you're under will slowly rob you of your precious soul, Corey.
Thunderstruck. Is the thunder a disc?
Yes, the thunder.
Yes, it is.
Native discs, August 5th, 2024.
Nice.
All right, Jaimen, you haven't even had a question yet officially, and you already got a point. So what category, 1, 2, or 3?
Can you remind me of what categories they chose?
2 and 3 are out. Well, or have been used.
All right, so I'll take category 1.
Apiarists know what word that can be a vibratory sound or the excitement generated by a cool new product or performer. Apiarists know what word that can be a vibratory sound or the excitement generated by a cool new product or performer.
That has got to be buzz.
5 years on, is the buzz a disc?
It is.
Disc Crap, September 30th, 2003. All right, Corey, 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to stick with 2, even though, I'm going to go to 2.
2? If it's 1984 and I'm shooting at the walls of heartache, what am I? If it's 1984 and I'm shooting at the walls of heartache, what am I?
84 shootings at a wall of heartache.
I only include questions like this so that Kenji keeps listening.
The older generation.
Yeah.
I don't know why I chose the category that had an AC/DC question in it. I thought maybe that was not going to be the overarching theme.
Your cars have been used to like blast AC/DC for decades before you owned them.
Yeah, decades before I owned them. And now I do the same thing because they're not new enough to have a goddamn Bluetooth or an aux cable. So all I listen to is Q105 and the same goddamn 10 classic rock songs all day.
If you're driving past me on the road with your preferred song playing, what is it going to be?
The sound of the radio off, the windows down, and the engine humming.
Okay.
That's usually what it is these days. I really listen to it. Or it's something that you kind of people are probably like, why is there so much yelling? Why are they so angry? Why is it something he wants to harm
You
himself?
type of people. Who are you talking about?
Who are you?
You jam banders and older people and
Oh, I am not a jam band, mind you. Like Green Day is probably my favorite band of all time. I don't know if they would be considered.
yeah, that was my second guess. I could smell it on you.
You smell dookie on me? Is that what it is? Nice. Thanks.
A wallflower.
Randy?
I have no idea. Lovesick.
Jaimen?
Can you ask the question one more time?
I was gonna. It's been a minute.
Nope, I didn't even want to hear it.
If it's 1984 and I'm shooting at the walls of heartache, what am I?
I am the warrior, right?
Is the warrior a disc?
It's got to be a disc. I feel like that's a gateway disc.
Gateway Disc Sports, October 20th, 1999. All right, that was Corey's question, correct?
It was, yep.
All right, Randy, 1, 2, or 3. Need something to get you on the board.
Let's go 1.
All right, question 2, category 1. The very first of what microblogging posts was sent by company co-founder Jack Dorsey March 21st, 2006? The very first of what microblogging posts was sent by company co-founder Jack Dorsey on March 21st, 2006?
That'd be a tweet?
Is the tweet a disc?
Oh, I'm hung up on the trademarking aspect. I'm going to go yes.
I'm sorry, no. Jaimen, 1, 2, or 3.
Let's go with 3.
Question 2, category 3. What play by William Shakespeare may have been inspired by the 1609 wreck of the ship carrying future Virginia governor Thomas Gates? What play by William Shakespeare may have been inspired by the 1609 wreck of the ship carrying future Virginia governor Thomas Gates?
I believe that is the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I'm just kidding.
I
was about to
what
flip
the hell?
Like, what?
Why? Because you thought I was right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought you were right, and it was a ridiculous answer.
I wish I was that confident. I have no freaking clue. Can I hear the question one more time? I didn't even know Shakespeare ever mentioned the ocean.
What play by William Shakespeare may have been inspired by the 1609 wreck of the ship carrying future Virginia governor Thomas Gates?
Fuck. Romeo and Juliet.
Corey?
Damn it.
Oh, damn it. I believe that was the original Django Unchained.
Randy?
The Tempest.
Is the Tempest.
What
Yes. It's the name of the play. That's the only way I got it.
I hope wasn't that the only clue?
Well, it was the name of the boat, wasn't it?
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't know the name of the boat. But anyways, Tempest. That sounds pretty sick. Let's go yes.
Disc Golf Association, August 16th, 2018. And I don't know if it was the name of the boat. It's just, it was around the time that it was written. It was a famous
didn't
shipwreck
listen.
at the time. No, you're fine. Where did that start? That's a full 2 rounds. I got Jaimen at 5, Randy at 3, Corey at 2. Corey, 1, 2, or 3?
I guess I hate 1 the least, so I'll go with category 1.
All right. Question 3, category 1. If you combine the chemical symbols for chlorine, arsenic, and hydrogen, what rock band do you get? If you combine the chemical symbols for chlorine, arsenic, and hydrogen, what rock band do you get?
What was the last one?
Hydrogen.
Clash.
Chlorine. I'm sorry. I was just going to repeat them again. Are you good with that?
Yeah, repeat them again.
If you combine the chemical symbols for chlorine, arsenic, and hydrogen, what rock band do you get?
Okay, yeah, Clash.
Is the Clash a disc?
You were taking way too long to answer. I thought I made a big mistake.
No, I was taking a drink.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, damn it. Is chlorine not Cl? Then I had to think you said hydrogen and not helium, because I'm like, wait, is there an E? I guess E wouldn't really change anything.
That would be the Clash.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, can you be more specific? Is the Clash a disc? That sounds pretty bad. Almost so bad that it's good. Clash a disc. Yeah, actually it is.
Axiom Discs, June 10th, 2014.
Told you.
It's also with this company, right?
It's a whole company. Yeah, I thought it was going to be wrong. Damn.
That's where the "it's so bad it's good" came into play. You had to make that realization.
Exactly. I'd have to check, but when Clash made their first disc, I wonder if this 2014 predates that, possible.
I would guess
so.
Yeah, it's actually out of production probably around the same time the company started.
Right when the trademark
Or MVP nerd. Alex wasn't here. I didn't think I'd have a nerd. No, I'm kidding. Randy, what category? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to stick with 3.
3. What 6-letter synonym for whirlpool comes from the Latin for whirlpool? What 6-letter synonym for whirlpool comes from the Latin for whirlpool?
I'm drawing lines on my whiteboard to give everyone a behind the
You're
scenes.
doing hangman?
Yeah, basically. Nope. Oh, no. Funnel. I don't know if I spelled that right. I'm sticking with it.
Jaimen, what do you got?
Oh,
I have confirmation that funnel has 6 letters.
Hey, I did it.
Or is spelled wrong by 2 of us now.
2 N's, 1 L?
That's what I was doing.
Can you hear the question one more time? I forgot the language.
What 6-letter synonym for whirlpool comes from Latin for whirlpool?
All right. I can't reason this one through out loud.
Third quarter, it's 7-6. Oh my goodness!
So is this like a Steelers game or something?
Right? Hey, they're 2-0.
Yeah, and they haven't scored more than 20 points yet.
Have they scored an offensive touchdown yet?
Yes, they got one yesterday.
Woohoo!
Yeah, they did better than their score, but it is what it is. Justin Fields is playing like a decent quarterback. He's better than Mason Rudolph. Big surprise.
I literally need Saquon Barkley to not score any points so I can finally get a win in fantasy football. There's your football update, actually.
My quick football update is I have 2 wide receivers. He's got a tight end and a kicker, and I'm up by like 30 points, so I'm crossing my fingers.
I'm up 27. He's got Barkley and Elliott.
I do have Kansas City's running back who just broke his femur, so
Oof.
I'm kind of screwed next week.
That's future problem.
Yeah, exactly. I have Alvin Kamara who got me 3 or 4 touchdowns this week, so I'm happy.
You know what pissed me off since we're talking about football is the fact that the Bills put up 31 points and freaking Josh Allen got me like 11. All I saw was a score at first. I'm like, oh shit, 31 points. He must have been throwing them all over the place. And then I look at my app and it's like 11 points. What the frig?
We're just buying Jaimen time, so it's all good.
Yeah, the only thing I've been able to think of is a good joke answer, so I'm going to say washer.
Corey, anything?
Vortex?
Is the
God
vortex.
damn it.
Man.
Ugh, I knew it had 6 letters.
You had already said it earlier.
Good get.
But yeah, well, especially when you start talking about whirlpools, I'm like, damn it, now the whirlpool question comes up. Is the Vortex it is? Hell yeah, it's a badass ass. I bet you that DGA company makes it.
Discraft, January 1st, 1990.
That's the same thing, right? Still right?
Kinda.
So Jaimen, I think we're at you. 1, 2, or 3?
That one was 3, right?
That was a 3.
That
Yeah.
was a 3, yes.
All right. Let's go with 2.
All right. Question 3, category 2. As a noun, what word refers to a gallant mounted knight? As an adjective, it can mean disdainful or offhand. As a noun, what word refers to a gallant mounted knight? As an adjective, it can mean disdainful or offhand.
Fuck. So if it's a noun, it refers to a knight. If it's an adjective, it's disdainful.
Or offhand, yes.
Okay.
A gallant mounted knight, just to clarify.
Oh, okay.
Not just one of them boring knights.
Oh, man. Oh, I can't. I'm like totally drawing a blank. I can't think of anything that like has 2 such opposite meanings. What would describe a knight? Noble. That doesn't sound anything opposite. Valiant. No, you said that. You said gallant in the thing, right?
Gallant mounted knight, yep.
Valiant doesn't mean anything opposite. Brave doesn't mean anything opposite. Chivalrous. I'm not coming up. I'm going to stop giving them answers. I'm going to say chivalrous.
What do you got, Corey?
What was that one movie with Heath Ledger that was kind of good? A Knight's Tale?
10 Things I Hate
Batman?
About You.
No, I think it was A Knight's Tale. I was just curious if you guys know the movie. It has no...
Where they did We Will Rock You?
Yeah, because I did We Will Rock You and it was medieval that time. Yeah.
And David Bowie songs, yeah.
I heard you, Randy.
I love that movie. Well, both of the ones we're all talking about.
A gallant mounted knight. I can't think of any other word for... yeah, I'm just going to go with commander. I don't know.
Commander?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Randy.
Oh, I thought it would be, could you be more specific? Yeah, I can't really swim that.
Cavalier.
Is the Cavalier a disc?
Fuck. Good job.
Yeah, I had it like the whole time. No, anyways, is Cavalier a disc? I have no clue. Let's go. Yes.
I'm sorry, no. Halfway through, I got Corey at 6, Jaimen at 5, Randy at 4. The only thing I could do away with in that Knight's Tale is, you have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting. They use it a couple times.
They do.
And then you go back and watch the movie again.
No, I'll watch it again. Don't get me wrong.
Mainly because I don't remember that part that seems to have left such an impression on you.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 times in it.
He's like laying on his back at the end, and they all come in like one by one and like say it to his face.
Corey, category 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I know some of the categories, and I'm scared of them, so I want to go with 1.
Question 4, category 1. On Saved by the Bell, Dustin Diamond played Samuel Powers, who had what nickname? On Saved by the Bell, Dustin Diamond played Samuel Powers, who had what nickname?
Screech!
Is the Screech a disc?
I think the only reason why I even knew that is because he was on that one like MTV or VH1 show or whatever where he was like a sex addict or fat camp or whatever it was.
Well, he did a couple, like Surreal Life and Celebrity Rehab.
Where
or
he was
something.
really outed as like a scumbag.
Mm.
Is the Screech a disc? That word kind of sucks. Just in general, I feel like everyone can like hear that word as just some little kid just being an absolute asshole by screeching. So yeah, it's disc.
Elevation Disc Golf, September 9th, 2024.
You following that logic, Jaimen?
Nope.
Randy, 1, 2, or 3.
How about 2?
On May 15th, 1997, the NBA's Washington team changed their name to the Wizards. What controversial name did they have? On May 15th, 1997, the NBA's Washington team changed their name to the Wizard. What controversial name did they have?
I thought I'd figured out the category. I still feel like I have. And I was like, I will definitely be able to think of an NBA team's name. And now you've asked me one that isn't a name anymore. So I don't know.
First thing you think about Washington, what do you think?
I was thinking Redskins. Did they also have that team name? Ooh. And then the other team didn't change it for like a lot of years after. That's not great. Oh, that's all I got though. Oh no. Yeah, going with Redskins.
Jaimen?
Oh, damn. I thought Pat baited you and he was just giving you like a freebie.
Me too.
Could I hear the question again?
On May 15th, 1997, the NBA's Washington team changed their name to the Wizards. What controversial name did they have?
I don't have a clue about basketball. Yeah, in lieu of guessing something offensive, I'm going to pass.
Corey?
Yeah, I'll step in. No, I don't know basketball or anything else other than what Randy already said. So let's see. Think of something offensive, but not overly offensive. Like it's offensive now, but wasn't offensive back then. Ooh, at the big scope. The Washington. I have no idea. What, the Washington Canucks?
And that's offensive to Canadians?
To somebody, I'm sure, somewhere. Yeah, I don't know.
We're looking for the Bullets.
That's what? That's when was that controversial? These
in 1997, mint discs, March 26, 2020.
No, I think people forget that bullets are the reason why we're free. They weren't shaped like bullets back then. They were more shaped like balls. But
Jaimen, right?
Yep.
It's very difficult this week to figure out whose turn it is. But what do you got? 1, 2, or 3, Jaimen?
Let's go back to 1.
Question 5, category 1. Though quoted, the songwriters of Eye of the Tiger didn't get credit on what #1 hit by Katy Perry. Though quoted, the songwriters of Eye of the Tiger didn't get credit on what #1 hit by Katy Perry.
Oh, is it Roar?
Is the Roar a disc?
I'm going to say no.
You are correct.
Nice.
Damn, I just got to that part in the song when you answered too. I knew more lyrics than I thought I did.
I think we're through 4. I got Corey at 8, Jaimen at 7, Randy at 4. Corey, what category? 1, 2, or 3?
Interesting. Was not expecting to be in this position. Let's close out 1, I guess.
All right. Question 6, category 1. What 4-letter slang term for a party can also mean to criticize harshly? What 4-letter slang term for a party can also mean to criticize harshly?
Shit. Criticize harshly, 4-letter word for party. 4-letter word to criticize. Bash.
Is the bash a disc?
Is the bash a disc? That sounds ridiculous. I'm going to say no.
Lone Star Discs, July 22nd, 2024.
Figures.
Randy, 2 or 3?
I'll stick with 2, even though I don't know basketball very well.
What nautical name was given to Yankee Joe DiMaggio due to his graceful outfield play? Let me try that again. What nautical nickname was given to Yankee Joe DiMaggio due to his graceful outfield play?
Nautical term, right? Nautical
That means
term?
water.
Nautical nickname.
I'm still trying to think of NBA teams. This is bad.
What nautical nickname was given to Yankee Joe DiMaggio due to his graceful outfield play?
When I think graceful, I think Pelicans. So I'm going with Pelican.
What do you got, Jaimen?
I was going to go with Pelicans. Man, there are too many teams in the NBA. Nautical.
On the podcast, we've had many of them, so we're running out.
Yeah, we're getting to the ones that nobody knows.
I had to come up with a team that's no longer a team to fill out this category. So.
Oh, shit.
Not that this is.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. But you're not saying that it's not.
It's not. This is definitely a current team. I mean, if that's the category, assuming.
You couldn't have hinted in a less helpful way, so it didn't. That was good. Oh, geez. Yeah, I really wish I knew more basketball teams. I've already used Magic. I'm just like going around the country trying to think about teams that are kind of close to water, and it's not working very well. Man, all right. I feel like it's got to be somebody somewhere on the like southern East Coast. I feel like none of the West Coast teams are making any sense nautically. Not that I know them. San Francisco have a basketball team? Oh yeah, wait, no, that's the Warriors. You're close. Oakland's close to San Francisco, right? It's across the bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Charlotte has like the Hawks, but that's like nothing nautical. I'm gonna say the Heat.
Corey?
So we're talking gracious outfield play, nautical, which means out at sea. The only thing out there you see is cargo ships, not gracious. Whales could be kind of gracious. I think more like dolphins, though. What else is nautical? Oil rig. The Miami Dolphins.
That's everybody?
Yeah.
We're looking for the Yankee Clipper.
Oh.
Clipper's a type of boat, I assume.
Yes.
It is.
That was Randy's question initially, right?
Yep.
Was that a disc?
No, the Clipper is not a disc.
Couldn't get that one wrong.
Jaimen, 2 or 3. 4 questions left.
I'm going to go with 3. Get me out of basketball.
Question 4, category 3. From the Latin for to wash away, what word can mean a heavy downpour or to inundate in overwhelming numbers? From the Latin for to wash away, what word can mean a heavy downpour or to inundate in overwhelming numbers?
The only thing that's coming to mind right now is torrent. I don't know it. Every time I hear the word Latin, my brain freaks out. But I'm going to go with torrent.
Note to self: more questions that are from the Latin. What do you got, Corey?
Fuck.
I already used torrent. I wanted to this category. Trust me, buddy.
Can you ask the question again?
From the Latin for to wash away, what word can mean a heavy downpour or to inundate in overwhelming numbers?
A heavy downpour. The word can't be downpour or to inundate with overwhelming numbers.
It's like zerging with water.
Zerg rush?
A heavy downpour or inundate with, so it's not monsoon. Heavy downpour. I'd probably also help if I knew exactly what the word inundate meant and not just assumptions based on context clues. A heavy rain or to inundate with overwhelming numbers. Smother.
Randy?
Flood.
We're looking for deluge.
Ooh, would not have got that.
Which is not a disc. All right, final round. I got Corey at 9, Jaimen at 7, Randy at 4. Corey, 2 or 3?
Shit, there is no way I'm going with 2. I'll take 3.
Question 5, category 3. What term for a sudden gust of wind and precipitation is related to a Swedish word for rushing water? What term for a sudden gust of wind and precipitation is related to a Swedish word for rushing water?
Shit. Oh, damn it. If it's this word I'm trying to think of that I can't think of, I'm going to be real mad. A sudden gust of wind and precipitation. I feel like I lived through this. It was a bomb cyclone.
Randy, what term for a sudden gust of wind and precipitation is related to a Swedish word for rushing water?
Squall.
Is the squall a disc?
Damn it, that was a word.
Nice.
That was the goddamn. Actually, I'm kind of glad that Randy got it. Good job, Randy.
Yeah, we were there together. I mean, not together, but different holes at J Park being squalled upon. I'm just going to keep saying yes.
Discraft, July 10th, 2003. And what category? 2 or 3, Randy?
Let's do 3.
Salamanders don't know what word that means a violent whirlpool or that it comes from the Dutch, but they do know enough to gather in one. Salamanders don't know what word that means a violent whirlpool or that it comes from the Dutch, but they do know enough to gather in one.
A violent Dutch whirlpool made of salamanders. Paints a picture. The salamander part is making me picture like insane imagery here. I don't know. A spiral.
Jaimen?
Can I hear the question again?
Salamanders don't know what word that means a violent whirlpool or that it comes from the Dutch, but they do know enough to gather in one.
Why are there so many words for whirlpool?
Yeah.
Why have I never thought about this until tonight?
You don't live near water that has whirlpool capabilities.
Yeah, that must be it. Salamanders, huh?
Salamander.
In particular. I'm sorry, can I hear the question one more time? I'm having a hard time digesting or processing it.
Salamanders don't know what word that means a violent whirlpool or that it comes from the Dutch, but they do know enough to gather in one.
I don't think they know a whole lot if they're gathering in violent whirlpools. What the hell do salamanders gather in? Ponds? It's like fucking lake. I'm going to be mad. I don't know. I'm going to say pond.
Corey?
And I'm going to say funnel.
We're looking for maelstrom.
Oh. I was picturing salamanders in like a circle pit.
Yeah,
So
thrashing.
The Maelstrom is Storm Disc Golf, April 9th, 2020. Final question, Jaimen. If you get it both, you could tie Corey. This is question 2, category.
Try it again.
This is question 6. This is question 6, category 2. What 2014 Cinemax show isn't about a basketball player, but about a 1900s New York City doctor, John Thackeray? What 2004 Cinemax show isn't about a basketball player, but about a 1900s New York City doctor, John Thackeray?
I was doing so good at one time. I blame it on the NBA and having a very boring sport.
That's fair.
I'm just kidding. I hope Koch listens to this. He's always watching basketball. I just want to piss him
I'm
off.
definitely with you. I would agree on that point.
It's not nothing again. It just doesn't translate to radio, and that's where I digest most of my sports.
I'm sorry, Randy, for how I was alluding that you were the old guy earlier. Based on my Sonny D comments.
it's okay.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
For the possible tie.
Can I hear it one last time?
What 2014 Cinemax show isn't about a basketball player, but about a 1900s New York City doctor, John Thackeray?
Man, fuck. I'm not gonna. The Timberwolf, obviously.
Corey, you've already got the win.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, it'll give Randy an opportunity to tie for second.
Yeah, well, I don't really care about that because I already know the answer, and I know that Tomlin doesn't fit, but I don't really watch Cinemax or whatever the hell you said. So maybe they did a remake, but I know it's a basketball team. I'm going with, obviously everyone knows the movie Heat.
Randy, what do you got?
Oh, damn it! Thought I had it.
Heat wasn't about anything in the 1900s.
And it wasn't made in 2014 either. I mean, 1900s is pretty broad. What do you mean, 1900s?
That's true. That's a valid
It was the
point.
2014 part that I knew
Oh
was
my
wrong.
God, this is Grey's Anatomy. No,
You got this, Randy.
I don't. I really don't. I'm more afraid of saying a sports team name from the wrong sport at this point. All right, the Celtics.
We were looking for the Nick.
I was going to go
Oh.
Knicks in the beginning, but I thought I could think of something stupider than that. And I did.
The Nick
I
is
guess.
not a diss. The Nick. I only did it because last week you guys said the Knicks like 47
Yeah.
times. Like Knickerbocker. So Corey is our champion for the week with 9 points. Jaimen at 7. Randy at 6, if my math is correct.
Oh, yeah. I
Pretty
love that math.
Whatever math puts you in the lead. Anything coming up that we don't know about?
Sign up for the Stonewall Classic.
When is that?
It is October 13th. It's a
October
Sunday.
13th.
So even if you play Team Challenge, you can go to this the next day.
And it's Columbus or Indigenous Peoples Day weekend, so you have a Monday off after that. So cram all that disc golf in there while you still can.
Is that really coming up? Is that in my calendar? Got a free day off? Didn't even know it.
Yeah, we are more than halfway through September. 30 days. Yeah, we are more than halfway through September.
So you're also an esteemed gentleman that has to go through that stupid song to figure out how many days there are in a month.
Well, it's the very beginning of it. 30 days had September.
Yeah, that's true.
Knuckles.
Or you do your knuckles. Yeah.
Wait, Knuckles? I've seen that trick before, but I don't know it.
It's easier.
Is it? Because I feel like singing a little ditty is pretty easy.
Yeah, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest of 31 except for that fucking February.
Which has
You can end
28.
it however you want.
You can cram any Ember like month into the start of that. Like 30 days has December. It fits right in. You don't know if you're wrong or not if you're not sure.
Well, that's the only part you need to know is the September.
What does it end with?
February.
30
No,
days
like
had September, April, June,
April,
and
June,
November.
and that also ends in Ember. You could like totally mess that up. This December.
No, December's 31 because of New Year's Eve.
Okay, Randy, you have
How
to
would
know
I
the
always
song
know
to be able to
that?
sing it, all right?
Randy, you're just a silly goose if you don't know
Don't
about New
sing
Year's
the
Eve.
song. I don't like the song.
What if you're missing a knuckle? What if you had? What if you only have one hand? Then and then you also can't learn a song.
If you don't have the knuckles, then you do the song. If you have the knuckles, you can do the knuckles. It's very simple. You got two options.
Everyone can learn a song. Not everyone can count 10 knuckles. All right, I'm just saying.
No, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
That's not fair. That's total bullshit.
It's not fair. All right. Well, either way, thank you, Corey, Randy, and Jaimen, and Sweet Up Hudson.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Why? Where's Alex?
He's not feeling well.
Oh.
I'll read you his message. Alex says, I got myself sick again. Only thing he wanted to add is that this coming week is the last week of Stony Kill Dubs. So by the time the people hear the episode, it'll be over.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, exactly. They tend to do a few unsanctioned dubs for a while and then eventually pick up again with Glow. But the actual weekly dubs is done after the 18th, which is weird because I wanted to ask him a question. My wife brought this up. I don't believe I didn't realize this. I have the disc from the Stony Kill Scramble just sitting around because I haven't put it in storage with the rest of the other hundreds of discs I have that I don't throw. She's like, what is that a picture of? Because I just assumed it was a donut. Is that not a donut?
It's a donut.
I always assumed it was a donut.
But if you look at it, it almost might be like a sausage, egg, and cheese because it's got stuff around the edges. Does that make sense?
Here I go.
Oh, where do I got to find this?
Disc golf scene. If you type Screa, you'll get it on on there.
Oh, yep, there it is.
I see what you're talking about with the edges being different.
Is there a bigger picture?
I can make this image bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if I just make the browser bigger, it makes the picture bigger.
You're right. I'm seeing bacon and the corners of things.
Okay, yeah. I don't think it's a donut anymore. I always thought
An
it was
everything
a donut.
bagel sandwich.
That's okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, hear me out. Oh, hear me out. It's a bacon and ham bits pizza. The pizza is perfectly circular, so it's like a cartoony version, but it's also on parchment paper, which is why it's kind of wrinkly around the outsides, sitting on a tin. That does not explain why there's a hole in the middle.
Why did you make that so difficult?
Ah, fuck. Oh, wait, but it's got one of those little table things on the pizza to keep it so that the cardboard doesn't hit it in the
I
bottom.
think the font is reminiscent of Donut Shop and
like 50s. I think that's what got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but now that we're saying it, it does. It looks like bacon and stuff sticking out of an everything bagel. Damn.
I'm Team Donut.
Join the club.
Look at it more.
No, it's just in my head. I'm actually, there we go. I found it. That's not a.
I linked it to you.
If you look around the edges, there's stuff hanging off.
I found it by going through the podcast's Facebook page at old,
Well, that's probably a better way to do it.
It makes so much more sense being an egg sandwich, though.
An everything bagel with bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I looked at this thing for a month because I put it on the logo for every episode, and that's crazy.
Yeah, you guys, I heard mention the font. That also reminds me of I don't know why, but a 50s donut shop.
Oh,
absolutely.
I totally agree.
Little paper hats.
The other thing I was going to see, I thought I have a circular logo. I thought I put it in the donut hole, but then I'm like, no, because I don't want people thinking that we sponsored it. That should cost money.
You advertised it. That's good.
Yeah. It's the title's there somewhere. So.
And I found my umbrella that I was complaining about that I lost. It was in another car the whole time. I got too many fucking cars. Along with a pair of jeans that still had a belt going through it.
Wait, what?
Corey, have you ever thought about buying a new car and then just driving the one car?
And limit myself? What happens what do I do if something happens to that one car?
No. Nothing happens to that car because it's new.
Yeah. Okay. I see recalls all the time. I'm pretty sure Jason Gorsuch got an engine replaced in his brand new truck within the first 3 months.
Ask him how much it cost.
Him? I don't think much because it was all warranty.
Oh.
It did cost him his truck for 11 months or 13 months.
Yeah, but they gave him a new one for it.
It's possible. It's possible.
And listen, I'm going to split the difference. I will never buy a new vehicle, but buy a better used one.
I got something in the works.
Yeah.
I went certified pre-owned for my Jetta, and I've been driving it for 10 years and only ever done shocks and brakes on it.
Have you never heard of Dieselgate? Volkswagen is so cringe.
That's why I got it so cheap, dude, because it wasn't a diesel. They were just selling cars at that point, trying to recoup money. It was great.
Volkswagen used to make tanks during World War I. You support that?
Just that one?
No, I don't know.
Were there tanks during World War I? Yeah, there
was some version of a tank.
Yeah.
They were ugly.
I could be getting it mixed up, and it could have been World War II, but either way.
Randy's right. I think there were rudimentary, we'll call it, tanks in the world. But in World War II, they were trying crazy stuff.
World War II was amazing. Have we talked before? You guys are big.
Depending on your perspective of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just mean in the sense of technology. You guys are big podcasters, right? Have you ever watched that? His name's not George Carlin. What the fuck is that Carlin dude that does like Blueprint?
Dan Carlin?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Blueprint Armageddon, I think it is.
No.
I believe that is the. If you want to listen to a fucking podcast,
Didn't he do Hardcore History?
Hardcore History. Yeah. That. What did I say? Blueprint to Armageddon.
Some weird.
That doesn't sound like. Where the hell did I get that from?
That's a great band name in like 2010.
Well, you are a big fan of World War II, Corey, so you might be working on your Blueprint to Armageddon. I don't know.
I think Blueprint for Armageddon was a World War II series as part of the Hardcore History
Gotcha.
thing. But man, you could learn some shit way better than history class.
I was a history major.
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about.
I know that I know very little about history, that it's a very big topic. One of my teachers once said, he's like, you know, you get your bachelor's and you think you know a lot, and then you get your master's and you think you know everything. Then you get your PhD and you realize you know nothing. Only because, like, you just realize, like, we would go play trivia and people were like, oh, you got the history category. No, I don't. You know, I didn't study all of history. I just studied select topics in history. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think we ever finished one.
A topic?
Yeah, I remember I took a French Revolution class and we never even got to Louis XIV losing his head. I'm still in suspense to this day.
Cliffhanger. How does the story end?
Exactly. None of the classes that ever got to everything we were supposed to get to is, I guess, my point. But I don't know. I've heard of that guy. I just personally, I don't listen to a bunch of podcasts.
Neither do I, but it was a fascinating story. I don't even know what I was doing when I was listening to it. Like, I must have had a job that I could listen to stuff and just be on autopilot, but that was really good.